What's happening around the world and what's happening here at home? A very good evening to and welcome to Weekend Primetime News. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Sanduru Ferdinando. Let's take a look at your headlines for tonight.
SLPP ministers and MPs attend the President's Ekwa Jayagamu public rally.
Galla mata විශේෂයි. මගේ පියපොළ පතින් ආවේ ගාල්ලේ. ඒ මෙතෙන්ට ඇවිල්ලා මම ජනාධිපතිවරණයට තරඟ කරනවා කියලා දැනුම් දෙන්නත් ඒ වගේම දැනට මගේ ඇප බැඳලා තියෙනවා කියලාත් මං කියනවා.
Chief of Presidential Staff Sagala Ratnayaka meets Mahindra Rajapakse, requests for support in presidential race. SLPP's youth conference held under auspices of Mahindra Rajapakse. Opposition leader challenges President and Prime Minister. 2024 presidential polls will be a historic shift in power dynamics, says Anura Kumara Dissanayaka, announces non-confrontational election campaign.
සාමකාමීවත් මේ මැතිවරණය පවත්වා ගැනීම සඳහා අපේ පැත්තෙන් තියෙන මැදිහත් වීම අපි උපරිම පෙන්වන සූදානම්.
Maithripala to support Vijayadasa in presidential election. Acceptance of postal voting applications for presidential election begins. No authority, including the Prime Minister or Speaker, can overrule Supreme Court decisions, says the Bar Association.
Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka decides.
Sri Lanka decides.
The date for Sri Lanka's 2024 presidential election has been confirmed as September 21st, marking a pivotal moment as political parties and candidates intensify their campaigns across the country. Now, Newsfirst's primary aim is to equip you, the voters, with important information and perspectives to make informed decisions in this critical election, ensuring all viewpoints are considered. We now move our attention towards the meetings and rallies targeting the upcoming presidential election. In Galle, President Rajapakse addressed the public, emphasizing the need for unified efforts to confront the nation's forthcoming challenges over the next 5 years.
එක්ව ජයගමු ජනරලි මාලාවේ තවත් අතිරක් අද ගාල්ලේදී පැවැත්වුණා. මේ සඳහා අමාත්‍ය රමේෂ් පතිරණ මහතා ප්‍රමුඛ ගාල්ල දිස්ත්‍රික් නායකයින් මෙන්ම ආණ්ඩුවේ මැති ඇමතිවරු ප්‍රධාන ශ්‍රී ලංකා පොදු ජන පෙරමුණේ මහජන නියෝජිතින් 40කට අධික පිරිසක් එක්ව සිටි.
අධිකරු ජනාධිපති සේනාධිනායක රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මැතිතුමන්ගේ ගෞරවනීය සම්ප්‍රාප්තිය අධිකරු ජනාධිපතිතුමාට මාතෘභූමියට රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මැතිතුමන්ට කාල ජනතාවට අද මේ වේදිකාව බැලුවාම මේ වේදිකාවේ ඉන්නවා ශ්‍රී ලංකා පොදු ජන පෙරමුණ නියෝජනය කරන මැති ඇමතිවරු 40කට වැඩි පිරිසක් මේ වෙනකොට.
There are over 40 ministers and MPs representing SLPP here today. The Muslim leadership of the Eastern Province, Minister Ataul, is here. Minister Thondaman's party is also represented. We have never voted for Ranil Wickremesinghe before, nor have we worked to bring Ranil Wickremesinghe into power before. But the country comes before the party. That's why we are supporting Ranil Wickremesinghe unconditionally this time. Today, we see only a few, but a massive part of Sajid's party will be here soon. Political forces from the north and eastern provinces will also join us on this platform. We have no hidden agendas. Our only aim is to develop the country. We can guarantee that Ranil Wickremesinghe will be the winning candidate in the upcoming presidential election.
දිනනාපේක්ෂකයා රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මැතිතුමා කියන සහතිකය අපි තමුන්නාසනට ගාලු පුරවරේ දෙනවා.
මම දැක්ක ඊයේ පෙරේදා විපක්ෂ නායකතුමා කියලා තියෙනවා එතුමා ඒක බාරගත්තේ නැත්තේ හොරුත් එක්ක ඉන්න බැරි වෙන්න ඉඳලු.
I saw that the opposition leader said he didn't accept it because he cannot stay with thieves. But is that the truth? President Gotabaya Rajapakse asked me to call him. I did. And they wanted to discuss with the Secretary to the Treasury and the Governor of the Central Bank. If he cannot work with the thieves, why did he ask us to come and hold discussions for 3 hours? That is not the truth. We realize the massive economic turmoil we are facing as a country after those discussions. He was scared to present it to the country. He was selfishly thinking only of his own and his party's future. He didn't accept the responsibility. You can verify this by checking Dr. Harsha De Silva's Twitter message, where he mentions our massive economic turmoil and how he does not wish it upon an enemy.
අදත් ජනපති හෙටත් ජනපති ජනාධිපති රනිල් තමයි.
Ranil Wickremesinghe is a president today and tomorrow. He will still be the president on the 21st. This is confirmed by the massive crowd gathered here in Galle today. The leader who can fulfill the desires of these people has accepted the challenge of this country today.
එකෙන් පටන් ගෙන හාමුදුරුවෝ ජනාධිපති වෙලා ඊළඟ එකටත් යනවා. මෙහෙම වාසනාව මේ ලෝකේ කාටවත් තිබ්බේ නැහැ.
The man who began with just 1 seat is now the president. No one has been this fortunate. Has anyone been this fortunate? No. Look at him today. He looks great with us. I am under the influence even now. I asked the president to reduce the prices of alcohol. It hasn't been done yet. That result must come out too, right? Look at that. That must come too.
තාම අඩුනේ නෑ. ඒ ඡන්ද ප්‍රතිඵලෙත් එන්න ඕන නේද? අර බලන්න. අර බලන්න. ඒකත් එන්න ඕන.
මිත්‍රෝනි අපිට අතීතය අමතක කරන්න බෑ සමහරක් කරුණු අමිහිරි වුණාට. Gotabaya ජනාධිපතිතුමා.
We cannot forget the past, no matter what. Just as Gotabaya Rajapakse won the COVID war and Mahindra Rajapakse won the civil war, we won the economic war because of Ranil Wickremesinghe. That is neither a lie nor an exaggeration. Ranil Wickremesinghe will win with 300,000 votes from the Galle district.
දිස්ත්‍රික්කෙන් වැඩි ඡන්ද ලක්ෂ 3කින් රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ ජනාධිපතිතුමා ජයග්‍රහණය කරන දිස්ත්‍රික්කේ ජනතාවට ජය වේවා. රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහත්මයාට ජය වේවා කියලා පතමින් නිහඬවනවා. සෑම දිනකටම බොහොම ස්තුතියි.
ගාල්ල මට විශේෂයි. මගේ පියපෙළ පතින් ආවේ ගාල්ලේ.
Galle is a special place to me because my father is from here. I am here to announce that I am contesting the presidential election and the bonds have already been deposited. I thought long and hard before making this decision. I should have considered taking on this challenge 2 years ago. For the first time in the country and even in Asia, the post of Prime Minister was handed over just like that. No one was willing to take it. I accepted it in such a situation. I have never backed down from a challenge in my life. I am not one to just talk. If I start something, I will do it right. However, we have overcome this challenge. I accept that not all problems are solved. We are doing our best to provide solutions to everyone. I assure you that we will make you prosperous by the end of this. But first, we must honor the agreements we have signed. That's why I have asked the opposition whether they will support the IMF agreements. When the country is down, no one steps up to rebuild it only to abandon it later. I am contesting as an independent candidate. We need to move away from traditional politics. There are politicians with narrow minds like Sajid Premadasa and Anurag Kumar Disanayak. I intend to forge a new path. This doesn't mean we abandon the party. We move forward united as one. This is the last leg of our political journey, just as it is for Mahindra Rajapakse, Chandrika Kumar Tunga, Kharuja Surya. We must move forward on a new political journey. I forgot my friend Maithripala Sirisena. We fought each other for decades. It is our duty to steer the country toward a new era of politics. We have all come a long way in the past 20 to 30 years. We must create a better future. We can develop this country like Singapore. 10 years is enough to rebuild Sri Lanka. Let's progress and build Sri Lanka. Let's win this.
මේ රට දියුණු කරලා ගන්න පුළුවන් සිංගප්පූර වගේ. අවුරුදු 5ක් ඇති බිම හදන්න, අවුරුදු 10ක් ඇති රට හදන්න. ඉතින් අපි මේ ගමනේ යමු. අපි එකතුව යමු. අපි ඉදිරියට යමු. අපි ලංකාව හදමු. අපි ජය ගම්මු. ඔබ සියලු දෙනාටම ස්තුතියි.
A meeting was held between Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna leader, former President Mahindra Rajapakse, and Chief of Staff to the President Sala Ratnayaka. The discussion focused on seeking Sri Lanka Podujana Peremuna's support for President Ranil Wickremesinghe in the upcoming presidential election. Minister Dr. Susil Premadasa also met with former President Mahindra Rajapakse today, requesting SLPP's support for the president in the election.
මෙමෝදේදී අපගේ සම්භාවනීය ආරාධිත මුද්දන් මේ ගෞරවනීය සභාවට එක්හසු වන මොහොත.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we are witnessing the arrival of the distinguished guests, Mr. Namal Rajapakse, Honorable Namal Rajapakse and other guests are coming to this ceremony.
The youth conference of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peremuna was held this afternoon at the Nelum Pokuna Theatre in Colombo under the auspices of SLPP leader and former President Mahindra Rajapakse.
පොදුජන පෙරමුණේ පරමාදර්ශී නායකතුමන් ශ්‍රී ලංකා ප්‍රජාතාන්ත්‍රික සමාජවාදී ජනරජයේ පස්වන විධායක ජනාධිපති අතිගරු මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමන්ගේ සම්ප්‍රාප්ත අපි තාරුණ්‍යයේ මහා සම්මේලනයට.
National organizer of SLPP Namal Rajapakse, General Secretary Sagar Karyavasam, Dhammika Pereira, Johnson Fernando and several other MPs attended the event.
අපි පක්ෂ හැදුවේ හැංගෙන්න නෙවෙයි. අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා
We did not build a party to hide. There was a piece of advice given to Basil Rajapakse by Mahindra Rajapakse when the party was being founded. A ship is not built for it to be anchored in one spot. The ship will be in good condition as long as it remains stationary. It will be safe from storms. However, it will have to face rough storms the moment it sets sail. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peremuna is not a ship that is meant to be anchored in one place. We built this party to join forces with the able youth of this country to reach collective goals. Therefore, our political party is for the modern generation of this country.
ගෞරවයෙන් මතක් කරන්න ඕනේ ඔබ තමුන්නාසෙලාට. ඒ හින්දා අපේ දේශපාලන බලවේගයේ නූතන පරම්පරාවේ දේශපාලන බලවේගයයි.
Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa challenged the President and Prime Minister today. This was at the Samagi Janapawara rally in Kahavatta, Ratnapura.
දිනන අපේ ආදරණීය අනාගත ජනාධිපතිතුමන්ට
පොලිස්පතිවරයා නැති වුණාට නියෝජ්‍ය පොලිස්පතිවරයෙක් ඉන්නවා මැතිවරණ කටයුතු බාර. එතුමාට අවශ්‍ය නියෝග දීමට මැතිවරණ කොමිෂන් සභාවට සම්පූර්ණ බලය තියෙනවා.
Although the IGP post is vacant, there is a Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of election affairs. The Election Commission has full power to issue necessary orders to him. When Gotabaya Rajapakse was elected in November 2019, there were no Inspector General of Police in this country during the presidential election. Therefore, I'm telling you very clearly that there will be no problem and the Election Commission has all the powers to conduct this election in accordance with the Constitution. I don't expect to talk at length. This is a very dangerous situation. Never in the history of our country has there been a government that insulted the judiciary in this way and tried to lighten the judiciary in this way in the society. We need to express with this effort. This entire country is waiting for a new leadership. Sajid Premadasa is going around the country. Today in Ratnapura, tomorrow in Monaragala, and he provided the people with things that are useful through the Sakvala program and the Husma program. If it is possible, Sajid Premadasa has the strength to serve you.
කිරීමේ ශක්තිය සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමාට කියනවායි කියලා.
දැන් රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහත්තයාගේ පක්ෂේ දන්නේ නැහැ පොඩ්ඩක් පුළුවන් නම් අත උස්සන්න. එතුමාගේ පක්ෂ මොකද්ද? එතුමාට පක්ෂයක් නැහැ. එතුමා ඉල්ලන්නේ මොකෙන්ද? එතුමා ඉල්ලන්නේ ස්වාධීනව.
Those who know Ranil Wickremesinghe's party, please raise your hand. What is his party? He has no party. How is he contesting? He's contesting independently. What is the reason behind that? Who is with Ranil Wickremesinghe? If there are any more honourable citizens of the United National Party left in this country, we invite all those people to come and join Sajid Premadasa and the Samagi Jana Balavege, because today Ranil Wickremesinghe has no right to the United National Party. He has become a saviour of the Pohottuwa today. When these Rajapakses are helping Ranil, Ranil faces a big problem. When the Rajapakses are with Ranil, Ranil cannot go to the north and ask for votes. When the Rajapakses are with Ranil, Ranil cannot go to east and ask for votes. Now they are carrying out a conspiracy. They are playing a game. Basil has told them to put up a candidate from the Pohottuwa so that they can go to the north and get the votes. Ranil Wickremesinghe is trying to field a candidate for that reason, for nothing else. then the people of the north will vote for him.
අපේක්ෂකෙක් දාන්න රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ හදන්න වෙන මොකුත් ඉඳ නෙමෙයි. උතුරේ ඡන්ද ටික මංකොල්ල ගන්න එතුමා හිතන් ඉන්නවා නම් උතුරේ මිනිස්සු එතුමාට ඡන්ද දෙනවා කියලා. ඒවා වානා. උතුරේ මිනිස්සු ඡන්ද දෙන්න වෙන කාටවත් නෙමෙයි. සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමාට තමයි මේ රටේ මිනිස්සු ඡන්ද දෙන්නේ. දැන් බලන්න අපේ අය යනවා කියලා කොච්චර කල් කිව්වද? මට මතකයි.
For how long have they been saying that our people will cross over? I remember when Ranil Wickremesinghe was sworn in as the president, there was a big campaign with Ranil saying that 60 people of the Samagi Jana Balawege were crossing over, who sent out a big advertisement on May Day that 12 of us would be on their stage on May Day. He couldn't even get one person. In the past few days, they said that as soon as the election is announced, half of us will go with Ranil. Who went? Nobody did. I would like to tell you that no one wants to go with those bankrupt leaders.
නැත්තම් විපක්ෂ නායකකම අනාගතේ ගන්න පොඩි කෑල්ලක් තියාගෙන ඉන්නවද කියලා වෙලා යකෝ මේ මීට අවුරුදු 10 කට මහරජාණෝ කියප එකාගේ පුතා.
Namal is fond of but afraid of taking up the post of Prime Minister. He's wondering whether he should go to Ranil or take up the post of opposition leader. He is the son of the person they called a king 10 years ago. Today he is dreaming of becoming the opposition leader. If Ranil wins, not that he will, it won't ever happen. But if he does, Namal and Basil will be the first to join the team given all the games they orchestrated.
අනුප්‍රාප්තික ජනාධිපතිවරයා තමන්ගේ
The appointed president is using his schoolmate from Royal College, Dinesh Gunawardena, and hiding behind his parliamentary privileges to reject the Supreme Court's order on the IGP. He is saying the decision is baseless. I challenge the Prime Minister and the President. Make that same statement on stage instead of saying it in a closed space like the Parliament. If they publicly make such a statement, they will be held accountable for contempt of court. No one can remain president forever. No one will remain Prime Minister forever. No one will remain in the ruling faction forever either. Keep in mind that when the people make the correct decision this time, when they honestly and democratically rebuild a new era, all those who violate the supreme law, constitution or Supreme Court decisions will be held accountable no matter who they are.
උත්තර බඳින්න සිද්ධ වෙනවයි කියන එක මම මේ අවස්ථාවේ කියන්න කැමතියි.
National People's Power leader Anurakumara Dissanayake emphasized the party's commitment to a non-confrontational, democratic and peaceful election campaign. The National People's Power Policy Centre was inaugurated this morning under the auspices of NPP leader Anurakumara Dissanayake. Alongside the inauguration of the Policy Centre, Anurakumara Dissanayake also launched his official web page.
අපි කවුරුත් දන්නවා මේ මැතිවරණ ව්‍යාපාරය ලංකාවේ ඉතාමත් තීරණාත්මක මැතිවරණ ව්‍යාපාරය බවට පත්වේවි.
We all know that this election campaign is the most crucial in Sri Lanka's history. Until now, there has been no decisive transfer of political power. It has merely shifted among the same group, just like moving power from one's left hand to one's right hand. However, this election is expected to be the most significant power shift ever. In this context, the National People's Power is committed to ensuring a democratic and peaceful election process under the existing legal framework. We are dedicated to conducting a non-confrontational and democratic campaign. But the other parties appear intent on creating corruption and conflict rather than engaging in a democratic campaign and upholding the law. The Constitution has endowed the Election Commission with significant powers, and the responsibility for overseeing a fair and peaceful election now lies with them. As a political movement, we will engage with the Election Commission regarding any violence, illegal activities or anti-democratic actions, ensuring these issues are exposed to the public. To support this, we are inaugurating a centre today to report election violations across the country. Our new website will help strengthen the connection between the National People's Power and the public. It features an AI bot for instant responses to any query. This marks a significant moment as we launch our election campaign.
නිර්මාණය කොට තිබෙනවා AI bot කෙනෙක්. ඒ හරහා ඕනෑම ප්‍රශ්නයක් පිළිබඳව විමසිය හැකි. ශනිකව AI තාක්ෂණය හරහා ඒට පිළිතුරු ලබා දිය හැකි. ඒ නිසා මම හිතනවා මේක ඉතාමත් විශේෂ අවස්ථාවක් අද අපිට මැතිවරණ ව්‍යාපාරයේ ආරම්භයත් එක්ක සිදු කරනු ලබන.
Speaking at a media briefing in Colombo today, former President Maithripala Sirisena announced his support for Justice Minister Dr. Premadasa Rajapakse in the upcoming presidential election.
ඉදිරියේ පැවැත්වෙන ජනාධිපතිවරණය සඳහා ආචාර්ය විජේදාස රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමා
Dr. Vijayadasa Rajapakse was selected as the presidential candidate several months ago. His appointment as chairman of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party after my resignation was legally sanctioned, as both executive councils that endorsed his appointment were constitutionally authorized. There were no objections when the Executive Council confirmed his candidacy. He is a long-standing member of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party with a rich history within the party. His presidential campaign is now underway. We will traverse towns and villages to bolster this campaign and ensure Vijayadasa Rajapakse becomes the next president of our country. Although support may not be evident now, many sectors are backing him. We will be able to confirm this support within a week, and I firmly believe he has a significant backing.
සතියක් හමාරක් යනකොට කාටත් මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් පෙනෙයි එතුමාට ශක්තියක් තියෙනවද නැද්ද කියන එක ඒ ශක්තිය බොහොම පැහැදිලිව තියෙනවායි කියන එක මම ප්‍රකාශ කරන්නට ඕනේ.
පාර්ලිමේන්තු පන්ති ජයජයගම අධිතුමා මේ වෙනකොට ඔබතුමා කියනවා මේ ගිවිසුම්ගත වෙලා තිනවා කියලා
There are reports that an agreement will be signed on the 8th. It is not yet confirmed. We will have to wait until then to see.
The process for accepting postal voting applications for the upcoming presidential election has officially commenced. And the Commissioner General of Elections, Saman Sri Ratnayaka, said that voters interested in casting their ballots by mail must submit their applications as soon as possible, with the deadline set for the 5th of August. He also said that the necessary application forms have been distributed to government institutions through the district assistant and deputy election commissioners. The National Election Commission has introduced provisions allowing voters to cast their ballots at polling stations other than their designated locations during the upcoming presidential election.
In an extraordinary Gazette notification, the National Election Commission emphasized that eligible voters can request to vote at an alternative polling station if they have a reasonable concern of being unable to vote at their designated location. To facilitate this process, the Election Commission has made application forms available at election offices across all districts. Applicants are required to submit their completed forms to the Election Commission office located at Saranamawatha in Rajagiriya on or before the 1st of August. Each application must be certified by the Gramandidari official of the applicant's residential area. The Election Commission emphasized that applications lacking this certification will not be considered valid. The Gazette specifies that applicants should include information from the valid consolidated electoral list for the 2024 election in their applications. This information can be obtained from district secretariats, district election officers, or the Election Commission's official website at www.election.lk.
Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka decides.
Sri Lanka decides. The power of the people.
The Bar Association of Sri Lanka highlighted the claim that the Supreme Court does not have power to call into question appointments made by the President which are approved by the Constitutional Council, which is totally untenable.
The Bar Association of Sri Lanka has strongly criticised the government's attempts to undermine the Supreme Court's interim order on the appointment of Inspector General of Police Deshabandhu Tennakoon. In a statement, the Bar Association of Sri Lanka asserted that the Supreme Court, after hearing all parties including the Attorney General and Deshabandhu Tennakoon's counsel, issued an interim order barring him from functioning as the IGP until the final verdict. The case is scheduled for the 11th of November 2024. The claim that the Supreme Court does not have power to call into question appointments made by the President which are approved by the Constitutional Council is, in the view of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, totally untenable. The 19th Amendment to the Constitution subjects most presidential powers, except for declaring war and peace, are subject to the fundamental rights jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Citing previous instances where the Supreme Court had quashed the grant of pardons by the President, quashed the dissolution of Parliament and held against the President who was in office during the Easter Sunday attacks, the Bar Association of Sri Lanka underlined the court's authority in such matters. The BASL unequivocally stated that no authority, including the Prime Minister or the Speaker, can overrule Supreme Court decisions. The association warned that the failure to honour the decisions of the courts of the land by the government will result in a loss of public confidence in the administration of justice and will seriously imperil democracy. Expressing full confidence in the judiciary, the Bar Association of Sri Lanka said it will stand by the judiciary in order to ensure that its integrity is protected at this critical hour.
Parliamentarian President's Council M.A. Sumantiran expressed his views in Vaunia today regarding the Prime Minister's statement in Parliament yesterday, where he rejected the Supreme Court's order regarding the Inspector General of Police.
Speaking in Parliament yesterday, the Prime Minister said that he would not accept the Supreme Court's decision. Make the same statement outside the Parliament once. If Deshabandhu Tennakon continues to act as Inspector General of Police after the court's order, he may face significant challenges. I challenge him, in his capacity as Inspector General of Police, to produce a signed letter if possible, demonstrating his authority. However, the President must fulfill his constitutional responsibilities, and in this instance, he is making a serious error. I offer him advice. If he wishes to secure the people's votes as a candidate, he should appoint an acting Inspector General of Police.
Is the suspension of the Inspector General of Police's duties hindering the conduct of the presidential election? Former chairman of the Election Commission Mahindra Deshapre expressed these views on the matter.
මැතිවරණයක් කරන වෙලාවේදී පොලිස්පතිවරයාට ලිපි ආමන්ත්‍රණය කරාට ඒකම ඒක යන්නේ.
During elections, correspondence addressed to the Inspector General of Police is also sent to the Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police. Therefore, there are no disruptions to initial activities. We can appoint an acting IGP through the Police Commission, Public Service Commission, or by appealing to the Supreme Court. A Senior Deputy Inspector General can fulfill the duties of the IGP. Alternatively, instructions can be issued through the Secretary of the Ministry of Public Security. This issue does not pose a problem. Those suggesting otherwise and questioning the Supreme Court's orders are disregarding the fundamental rights of the people. As I always say, even if the heavens were to fall, the presidential election will take place before October 17th. In my view, the IGP issue does not hinder the election process.
මගේ නම් අදහස කිසිම බාධාවක් නැහැ මේ ඡන්ද විසීම පවත්වන්න ඔය පොලිස්පතිවරයාගේ ප්‍රශ්නේ.
Last month, this time, a world of stories, knowledge and music just out of reach. Sri Gunananda, a small school in rural Sri Lanka, yearning to learn. A new chapter has begun. Classrooms, once quiet, now hum with the joy of discovery, music and stories, sparking imaginations. Gamadda, for the people, by the people.
Welcome back. Continuing in more news, the Council of the European Union renewed the list of persons, groups and entities set out by the common position with a view to combating terrorism, and the LTTE continues to be banned in the European Union for a further period of 6 months. The prescribed persons, groups and entities are subject to the freezing of its funds and other financial assets or economic resources in the European Union member states, as well as it is prohibited for the European Union entities to make funds and economic resources available to the prescribed organizations. Day 44 of the third phase of the LOLC Divi Savia program, which is being carried out for the betterment of Sri Lanka's future generation, got underway today.
Under the Divi Savia program, exercise books and stationery equipment required for a year are distributed free of charge to government schools with less than 150 students. Today's program was centered around the Nureli education zone of the Nureli district. Accordingly, school bags and stationery equipment were donated to students of Bremo Tamil College, Holbrook Sinhala College, Preston Tamil College, Athiya Tamil College, Siriparakum College, Harrington Tamil College at the Zonal Education Office of Nuwara. School books and stationery equipment were also distributed to the students of Agrapatana Primary Tamil College and Derikla Tamil College this afternoon. The LLC Devisavi program continues to forge ahead for the future generation of Sri Lanka.
Bangladeshi authorities have taken 3 student leaders who helped coordinate rallies against government job quotas from hospital following days of deadly nationwide protests and state-imposed curfews and communication blocks.
3 student protest leaders who helped coordinate the recent rallies in Bangladesh have been forcibly removed from hospital by police officers. Staff members said that the officers, who were dressed in plain clothes, had forced their discharge despite the misgivings of medics at the hospital. The 3 men were being treated for injuries that they said were caused by torture and beatings they received in earlier police custody. Police had initially denied that Nahid Islam, Abu Bakr Mazumdar and Asif Mahmud were taken into custody. But Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan subsequently told reporters, quote, "They themselves were feeling insecure. They think that some people were threatening them," unquote. Police have arrested more than 4,000 people since the unrest broke out last week. All 3 students are members of the Students Against Discrimination, the group responsible for coordinating this month's street rallies against civil service hiring rules. The trio student group had suspended a further wave of protests at the start of this week due to the bloodshed. At least 150 people have been killed as a result of nationwide clashes between police and university students, with security forces accused of using excessive force. Protesters had been calling for quotas on government jobs to be scrapped.
The 2024 Paris Olympics kicked off to a dazzling start last night with a spectacular opening ceremony that captivated a global audience. Thousands of spectators lined the banks of the Seine River as the world's top athletes converged on the City of Lights.
The 2024 Paris Olympics opened with a parade of nations unlike any seen before. Athletes from around the world travelled the river Seine by boat, showcasing a unique and environmentally conscious approach to the traditional opening ceremony. French President Emmanuel Macron officially declared the Games open, setting the stage for 2 weeks of thrilling competition.
Célébrant la 33e Olympiade des temps modernes.
The Olympic flame was ignited by legendary French athletes Teddy Riner and Marie-José Pérec, symbolizing the spirit of sportsmanship and excellence. The ceremony featured a star-studded lineup, including a surprise performance by the iconic Celine Dion. Despite intermittent rain, the show went on, leaving spectators and viewers mesmerized. The first medals of the Paris Olympics are being won today, with China taking home the gold in 2 events so far. Team USA also won its first medal, a silver, in the women's synchronized 3-meter springboard diving event. With the world's attention focused on Paris, the Games promise to be a celebration of human achievement and unity. The 2024 Paris Olympics will conclude on the 11th of August.
The first T20 international of the India tour of Sri Lanka is currently underway in Pallakkale. Sri Lanka won the toss and chose to field first. And batting first, India posted 213 runs for the loss of 7 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. Sri Lanka are currently 73 for the loss of no wickets in 7.4 overs, and they require 141 runs in 73 balls for victory. And with that, we wrap up news for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. Do take care and good night.